Okay, this is my Ender 3 S1, and I'm just reaching over here to turn it on. Okay, it's on. So we're going to go into prepare, and notice the Z offset here, -1.6. And I'm going to select auto home. Okay, auto home is done. So I took a sheet of paper and I cut little squares so I don't waste a whole sheet while I'm doing this. So I get my little paper there. Come back over here. Try to get this focus here. And go to move. Z. And we're going to take this down. Zero. Check the paper, and it is, I can barely even move it here. Barely move it. Okay. Go back. See offset. And I'll turn this down. Check the paper. I can move it, but it's really tight. So we'll try maybe -1.48. Yeah, there we go. See, I don't know if the microphone will pick up that, but you can hear the vibration of it scraping, right? So 1.48. We'll focus in on that. Is what it should be. Okay, -1.48. I go back just to make sure that it's saved. I'll even go to control and store configuration. Go back. Now here's when I would print, but I've had problems when I print because it'll scrape the plate. As you can see here, this is gouged in. I can't get this white filament out of here. Any of those I can't get out because it is gouged into the bed. The nozzle is dragged across the bed. You can't, yeah. So anyway, so I would print, or it would be too high. So to double check this, then I would go back in here. Notice it saved it, -1.48 for the Z offset. And we'll go here and we will hit auto home. Notice we're going to start auto homing now. Yeah, auto home is complete. So now I'll put the paper in. This should still be the right Z offset. I'll go to move Z. Instead of 11.4, we're going to take it down to 0. Get a little closer so you can see that, hopefully. 0. Okay. Back. Now, just maintain the Z offset, negative 1.48, should be fine, and we'll see. And it is super, super loose. So now the print head is too high, and this is probably one of the cases where it would not have stuck. At other times I'll come and I'll do this, and the paper can't even be moved, it's so tight. So, Z offset, now we're gonna take it up. Try that one first. Nope, still too loose. Okay, now it's a little too tight, so we'll back off a little bit. 66 maybe. Oh, still too tight. Let's go down to 62 and see where that puts us. And that's just about perfect. I can barely feel the drag. Again, I don't know if you can hear it over the fans. You can't even see because of this. Yeah, anyway. Hopefully the microphone picks that up and you can hear the vibration, the scraping. It is scraping just a tiny bit. That's probably a good spot right there. Right? And that is now negative 1.62. Okay. So good. Okay. Again, this is where you would normally just go ahead and go back. Make sure it saves the settings. And you would normally print. But if I print, so far every time I've tried this, it fails. And the reason is the Z offset will be off again. So again, just to demonstrate, I'm going to click Auto Home. Home's going to start. And Auto Home is done. So we're going to repeat the process to verify that the Z offset, is set correctly. So now notice the Z is 11.6 instead of 11.4. I don't know if that inconsistency is normal after it does an Auto Home or not, but we'll go down to 0. I don't believe that does it on my Ender 3 V2. It seems like that one actually, after it does an Auto Home, actually returns to the same Z every time, but just go with it. So we'll get down, before I get all the way down, let's get the piece of paper in there. Take it all the way down. 0. Okay, go back and get ready for the Z offset. Wait, before I change it, notice negative 1.62, so it saved from last setting. And now, so it's close, but it's a little harder than it should be. So it's a little too close now. So I'll try to set that to, I don't know, 1.56 and see. It's still too snug. Try 5.4. Yeah, see if the paper wants to fold up yet. Okay. Take it just straight 1.5. That's still too tight. Try 1.48, which is where we were at the first time, if you remember. And now it's about right. Yeah, that's just about perfect right there. So again, I can go back to the back menu because it's supposed to be saved here, but I also just double check it and I can store configuration. Go back. Now I can repeat this again, and every time I do this, the Z offset needs to be changed every time. Every time. The Z offset is being maintained on this display, but the Z offset here seems to be in different spots. I don't know what it is. There's times I hear a noise that sounds like the motors when I'm adjusting the Z. It sounds like the motors are trying to turn. I don't know if they're not getting enough voltage, enough signal, or if maybe they're bound up a bit, but I've adjusted all the tension. I've adjusted the wheels on these. I've adjusted, I've re-lubed. I lubed the Z-rods. I've checked all of the connectors to make sure that they're good and snug and tight. None of that came loose. The screws on all the stepper motors are tight. None of those came loose. But I basically can't print with it because every time I set the Z offset and I go to print, immediately it's different. And sometimes it'll gouge the bed, as you see here. This is pretty much worthless now because this has been gouged so bad. Matter of fact, let me move Z. Let's just move it up. Also, the noise I hear, I never hear the noise going up. When I'm moving Z up, it's fine. When it goes down is when I hear that weird noise like it's bound up. But yeah, if you can, I don't know if this will get it, but I mean, look at that center right here. That center is just really, really messed up. Yeah, so this magnetic bed needs to be replaced right off the bat because that's been gouged too bad. But the whole printer, something needs to be fixed, or the printer just needs to be replaced because obviously the Z offset, this gantry, just does not stay in sync with what the LCD thinks it's at. So hopefully that explains it better.